He said it with pride, like a man declaring victory. "I made a major business move while you were gone," he told me, swirling whiskey in his glass, a smug half-smile cutting across his face. When I asked what kind of move he meant, he didn't hesitate. "I sold your jewelry," he said. "Every piece of it. That money built my empire." For a second, I thought I had misheard. Then I saw it. The arrogance in his eyes, the self-satisfaction of a man who thought he'd won. He expected me to break down, to cry, but I laughed, because the jewelry he sold wasn't what he thought it was. When I first met Daniel, he had nothing but ambition and charm. Two things I foolishly mistook for depth. He talked about building an empire, and I believed he meant for us. I believed every word the way a fool believes in fortune cookies. His promises felt golden. He'd run his fingers along the diamonds around my neck, calling them symbols of our future. I didn't realize he was calculating their price instead. Over the years, I became the quiet pillar behind his success, the silent investor, the emotional accountant. Every deal he made had my fingerprints on it. Every triumph came from my sacrifice. But empires built on lies eventually collapse. It started small, missing invoices, new passwords, a secretive grin whenever I walked into the room. Then our maid mentioned something. A man from a pawn shop had dropped by twice while I was out. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Instead, I went to the vault, the one only we knew the code to. My grandmother's emeralds, my mother's ruby set, the sapphire earrings I wore on our wedding night. All gone. And still, I didn't cry, because tears were weakness, and weakness was what he counted on. That night, I said nothing. I lay beside him, listening to his steady, careless breathing. He had no idea I'd been preparing for this moment. Not for revenge, at least not yet. For protection. 6 months earlier, I had replaced every real piece of jewelry with flawless replicas. The originals were insured and stored in a vault under my own name, far from his reach. He had sold glittering fakes, glass and gold-plated illusions, and I had every document to prove it. But I wasn't finished. A simple gotcha wouldn't be justice. He needed to lose everything, the way he made me feel I had. So I waited, I watched, I collected evidence. He was laundering money through his company, using what he believed were my jewelry profits as seed capital. I sent one quiet, anonymous email to the Financial Crimes Unit. Then, I contacted his business partner, the same man he'd been cheating behind closed doors, and showed him exactly where Daniel hid the money. Within weeks, the cracks appeared. Accounts frozen. Auditors knocking. His empire began to crumble under the weight of his own deceit. I didn't leave right away. I stayed to watch it all fall apart. He stopped sleeping, started drinking more, and when he finally begged me for help, I smiled. "I thought it was your empire, Daniel," I said softly. "You built it yourself, didn't you?" He didn't know that while his assets were being seized, mine were flourishing. The insurance from the stolen jewels had already cleared into an account he knew nothing about. Every ounce of pain he caused had already transformed into my freedom. When the investigators came, I stood by the door, calm, composed. Daniel looked at me as they placed the cuffs on him, confusion and fear twisting across his face. "Did you know about this?" he asked. I met his gaze, steady and cold. "I warned you once," I said. "Not everything that shines is yours to sell." He tried to respond, but the officers led him away before he could speak. The door closed behind him. I poured myself a drink from his crystal decanter and looked around the house that suddenly felt like mine again. The silence wasn't heavy anymore. It was peaceful. He thought he sold my jewels to build his empire. But the truth? His greed built my escape. Now, whenever I open my jewelry box, the real gems still sparkle, untouched, unbroken. Reminders not what he stole, but of what I took back.